why I gave up compost for grass clippings, and why my garden has never looked better. When I first started gardening seriously, I was a die-hard compost fan. I turned piles, managed carbon to nitrogen ratios, and waited patiently for that earthy, crumbly black gold to be ready. Composting felt like a rite of passage, a sign that you were a real gardener. But after years of hauling wheelbarrows, troubleshooting anaerobic smells, and waiting, I stumbled upon a simpler, faster, and frankly more rewarding way to feed my soil. I started using grass clippings, and let me tell you, my garden has never thanked me more. If you're a regular at Soil and Crop Central, you know we're always chasing smart, sustainable gardening hacks that actually work. What I'm about to share changed the way I grow, and it might just change yours too. Grass clippings were never trash. Let's start with the biggest myth in gardening, that grass clippings are yard waste. For years, I treated them as such. I'd rake them up after mowing and toss them in the compost bin, or worse, bag them for curbside pickup. But when you take a closer look, grass clippings are loaded with benefits most people overlook. Every time you mow your lawn, you're generating a free, natural fertilizer packed with nitrogen. Unlike compost, which takes months to become plant available, grass clippings break down quickly and deliver nutrients almost immediately. We're talking fast-track soil enrichment with 0 trips to the garden center. Compost takes time, clippings take action. Now don't get me wrong, compost is still a great resource. But it's a long game. If you've ever waited 4 to 6 months for your pile to finish breaking down, only to realize you didn't make nearly enough for your whole garden, you know the frustration. Grass clippings, on the other hand, are available every time you mow, and with a mulching mower, you don't even need to collect them. They get finely chopped and redistributed right back onto the lawn or garden, where they start feeding the soil instantly. This steady stream of green material doesn't just feed your plants, it feeds the soil microbes, builds organic matter, and improves soil texture far faster than traditional compost. The real secret is in the nitrogen. Here's where grass clippings really shine. They contain about 4% nitrogen, which is the lifeblood of plant growth. Compost, once fully broken down, tends to have nitrogen levels closer to 1%. That means clippings deliver a fast, rich dose of one of the most vital nutrients your plants crave. Nitrogen drives leafy growth, helps plants photosynthesize, and plays a major role in overall health and productivity. That's why, when I started layering grass clippings around my tomatoes, squash, and even fruit trees, I noticed greener leaves, faster growth, and better yields, often within a week or two. Fixing tired soil without the fuss. If you've been gardening for a while, you know what depleted soil looks like. Dry, crumbly dirt that repels water and leaves your plants stunted. That's what I was dealing with in my lower beds before I started mulching with grass clippings. In less than 1 season, that same tired soil transformed. The surface became darker, held moisture longer, and had visible worm activity. I didn't dig, I didn't amend, I just layered thin sheets of clippings every week or so, and watered deeply. It was that simple. And that's the beauty of this method, it's low effort, high impact. Weed suppression without chemicals. Another unexpected benefit was the drop in weeds. By spreading a thin, consistent layer of grass clippings about 1/2 inch thick, I created a natural barrier that blocks sunlight and keeps weed seeds from sprouting. I noticed fewer dandelions, less crabgrass, and dramatically reduced maintenance time in both garden beds and walkways. Unlike plastic weed barriers or bark mulch, grass clippings don't suffocate the soil. They feed it while protecting it. And over time, as the layers build, your weed problem shrinks while your soil gets richer. Avoiding the burn and getting the balance right. Now, I've heard the warnings too. Grass clippings will burn your plants. And yes, that can happen. If you dump thick, wet piles in one spot and walk away. The key is moderation and frequency. I mow about once a week and spread the clippings immediately, while they're fresh but not soggy. I aim for layers no thicker than half an inch at a time. This lets them break down quickly and evenly, without compacting or overheating. If you're applying to your lawn directly, make sure to use a mulching mower that chops clippings finely. Water your lawn thoroughly afterward. If you're using clippings in garden beds, just spread them thinly around the base of your plants and water them in lightly. And always avoid using clippings from lawns treated with herbicides or synthetic fertilizers. What you put into your grass ends up in your garden, so yeah, go chemical-free whenever possible. A formula that works every time. Here's a simple formula I use for garden beds when I want a quick green boost. Mix 1 part fresh grass clippings with 2 parts water. Stir well and let it sit for 24 hours, creating a natural nitrogen-rich compost tea. Then, just strain and apply about 1 liter per plant around the base, ideally in the early morning or late afternoon. This gives your plants a quick nutrient kick without synthetic fertilizers, and the results are almost immediate, especially in leafy crops like lettuce, spinach, and kale. My garden has never been healthier. Since switching to grass clippings, I've cut back drastically on store-bought fertilizers, eliminated the need for mulch, and even reduced watering needs. My soil holds moisture better, resists erosion, and grows healthier plants with fewer pests. More importantly, I've simplified my gardening life. No more massive compost bins to manage, no more fretting over carbon to nitrogen ratios, just a steady cycle of mow, mulch, and grow. And that's what makes this approach not just effective but sustainable, both for the garden and the gardener. Try it for yourself. If you're curious but maybe a little cautious, just start small. Pick a corner of your garden or maybe just 1 row of vegetables. Begin layering grass clippings after each mow. Give everything a good deep watering and watch how your plants respond. Chances are you'll be amazed by the transformation, and honestly, you might get hooked, just like I was. This isn't just a gardening hack, it's really a paradigm shift. Grass clippings aren't yard waste. They're actually a free, renewable, nutrient-rich tool that, well, most people totally overlook. And if you're serious about building living, fertile, thriving soil, you really can't afford to ignore them. Before you go, don't miss out. If you found this guide helpful, make sure to hit that subscribe button and share it with fellow gardeners who are still stuck turning compost piles. At Soil and Crop Central, we're all about real solutions that save time, save money, and get you better results. Let us know in the comments how you use grass clippings in your garden. We absolutely love learning from our community.